for Friday, May 16th. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, but first I'd like to thank the commissioners for coming in on a Friday afternoon and getting this business conducted today. Madam Clerk?
Chairman Johnson, Vice Chairman DeSimone.
Present.
Member Bettencourt.
Here.
Member Connors.
Present.
Member Giacopone.
Present.
Member Maderas. Member Scholes. Executive Director Miguel Nunez.
Present.
Legal Counsel Rena Parcha.
Present.
Okay, the first matter before the board is the board may discuss and vote to approve the calendar for the Coventry Town Council Special Election District 3 and 5, and I will turn that over to our Executive Director at this time.
Good afternoon, honorable members of the board. Thank you for coming in on this Friday afternoon for these agenda items. The effective April 7th, the town council members in Coventry, Scott Copley and James LeBlanc, both resigned their seats. The Coventry Charter requires that if the vacancy occurs with more than 12 months remaining in the elected term and more than 12 months before the next state of Rhode Island general election, that a special election be called by the town clerk in the manner prescribed by law to fill such a vacancy. Holding the election on August 5th establishes the candidate declaration period as May 29th and May 30th. And early voting would begin June 16th. If necessary, a primary would be held on July 8th, with early voting beginning June 18th. If the board does not have any questions regarding this draft calendar before you today, the staff requests that the calendars be approved for the Coventry Town Council District 3 and 5 and special election to be held on August 8th, 2025. I am happy to answer any questions from the board, either on this or the next agenda item, and the clerk from the Coventry Board of Canvassers, the new clerk from the Coventry Board of Canvassers is here as well to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions from the board members? In lieu of that, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the calendar.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. Item number 2, the board may discuss and vote to approve the polling locations for the primary and general election for the Coventry Town Council Special Election Districts 3 and 5. Executive Director.
Honorable members of the board, as the calendar you have just approved regarding the polling places to be used in the upcoming election. On April 16th, the Coventry Board of Canvassers met to discuss and vote on their selection of polling places for the upcoming Town Council special election in Districts 3 and 5 to be held on August 5th, with a primary to be held on July 8th, as previously mentioned, if necessary. The Board of Canvassers voted unanimously to open one of their 3 polling locations in District 3. Precinct, and I've listed them on the screen here for you as well. District 3, consisting of Precinct 0607, which is Manchester Hall at 585 Washington Street, and Precinct 0613, Naughty Oak Village at 14 Manchester Circle, will vote at Precinct 0609, the Club Jokes, located at 184 on Boston Street. The board also voted to open one of their 3 locations in District 5, Precinct 0614, which is the Coventry High School, and that's located at 150 Harkey Hill Road, and Precinct 0617, Hopkins Hill Road, Hopkins Hill School, which is located at 95 Johnson Boulevard, will vote at 0616 Maple Root Baptist Church. For historical reference, considering the last 3 special elections held in Coventry previously, I went back a few years. In May of 2022, a special election for school committee was held. There was no primary, and the election turnout was 6.84%. In May of 2021, a special election for Town Council Ward 4 was held. There was no primary, and the turnout was 1.25%. In July 2019, the city held a special election for school committee, and there was no primary, and the election turnout was only 1%. The largest precinct to be opened in this special election on August 5th would be the Maple Root Baptist Church, which would have 5,755 voters assigned to it as part of this combination. We expect about 40% of voters will vote either by mail or they'll vote early. We only anticipate 518 voters to visit the poll on Election Day, and that is assuming 15% turnout, which as you've seen from the historical context, it probably will be less than that. This is well within the capacity of that location, Maple Root Baptist Church, because that location typically would see about 1,100 voters in a presidential election. We will request that the Coventry Board of Canvassers place a sign at any polling location which will be closed, which is our standard procedure. This will direct voters to their current polling place operating on that day. The local board is also required under Rhode Island General Law 1711 1-1 to advertise the combination of the polls in a local newspaper no more than 21, but no less than 7 days prior to Election Day, so voters can be made aware of it. The polling locations will also be uploaded on the voter information portal located at vote.ri.gov. So if any voters within these council districts go to the Secretary of State's voter information portal, their updated polling place will be presented to them there. Now, based on the turnout that I've displayed to you and that you see is typical for these special elections in Coventry, these polling places are centrally located. They are convenient for voters to reach. The staff agrees with these selections and does ask that you approve them. I'm happy to answer any questions, and also we have the clerk from Coventry here as well.
Any questions from commissioners? I just actually have one question for the director. So one of these is in each district?
Yes.
That's special.
Correct, from 3 to 1.
Is there a motion to approve the polling locations as presented?
Motion to approve. And second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Item number 3, the board may vote to convene an executive session regarding investigative proceedings into alleged election-related misconduct pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 4246-5, subsection A, subsection 4. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Any opposed? We're in executive session at 1:11. So we have adjourned the executive session. We're back in open session. I'll turn to council to report out.
Mr. Chair, there is nothing to report out from the executive session.
Is there a motion to seal the minutes of the executive session? There's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. I should have asked this before. Any nays? No, the ayes have it. Item number 4, the board may discuss and vote to enter a contract with PCC Technology, Inc., DBA Civics, located in Lake May, Florida, for the purpose of configuring a campaign finance module for the board with related software license, hosting, and maintenance services. Again, I will turn to Executive Director Nunez.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, honorable members of the board. Before I begin, and before I forget, I wanted to acknowledge our intern, Kylie Vasquez, who is here today. She is from the Met School in Providence. She's been assisting the board as an intern since September of 2024, and she actually was only supposed to stay until December. I guess she liked us so much here that she decided to stay on through the entire year. She's a junior in high school, and I just wanted to acknowledge her. She's been doing a great job for us here as our intern this calendar
Welcome
year.
and thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you for staying.
So the honorable members of the board, the current electronic reporting and tracking system, or as we know, it's called ERTS, is a legacy system that was first developed in 2001, and it launched publicly in January of 2002. Electronic filing was initially required for all general officers in a staggered rollout. Eventually, by statute, any candidate, political action committee, or political party committee raising more than $10,000 in a calendar year or having a balance of $25,000 or more is required to file electronically. Any candidate, PAC, or party committee not meeting either of these thresholds may still file electronically if they choose. Now, in fact, currently 85% of candidates, PACs, and party committees do choose to file their reports electronically. Of course, this is a significant benefit for both ensuring the accuracy of these reports and the fact that these reports that are filed electronically are almost instantly available on our website through the portal. While the current platform has served the Board of Elections, candidates, and the public well, the reality is it's a legacy platform that is 24 years old, at least. It is unable to meet the statutory requirements that have been enacted by the General Assembly over the years since it was launched. For example, independent expenditures, electioneering communications, covered transfers that are required under Rhode Island General Law 1725-3 currently cannot even be submitted through the ERTS system. Approximately 75 unique entities file approximately 200 reports each year, either via email or through a service called WUFU, which is a document upload service. Under Rhode Island General Law 1727, vendor affidavits are required to be filed electronically if a company has a state contract worth more than $5,000 and a principal of the company donates $250 or more in an election cycle to general officers, general office candidates, members of the General Assembly, or candidates for or political party committees. While ERTS was modified 18 years ago to allow this filing, the system does not currently track any vendor who indicates that they do not meet the requirements of the statute to file the vendor affidavit. Meaning, if they check no, then they simply are not logged as having checked no. But if they check yes, then there is a series of information steps and fields that they have to enter to submit that report. The new platform in this upgrade will incorporate that functionality with the new upgrade. Aside from incorporating these additional reporting requirements, the new Civics platform will increase security using best cybersecurity practices such as multi-factor authentication, full compliance with FedRAMP and SOC 2 Type 11 standards by the end of 2026. Additionally, because the newer platform uses state-of-the-art and is used in 4 other jurisdictions, The board will benefit from any upgrades or improvements that are developed in those jurisdictions as well. The current ERT system is no longer being developed, and any changes made to the system are expensive and time-consuming to roll out, with many of the engineers with knowledge of the system actually either semi-retired or nearing retirement. From the candidate's perspective, this new platform incorporates new design best practices, simple transaction entry using predictive donor identification. This actually reduces the chance that duplicate donors are being created, potentially exceeding the maximum annual contribution limit. It will also support the import and upload of data files, such as Excel and CSV, and any supporting documentation. Candidates can also receive automated email alerts about upcoming filing deadlines or past due reports, something that the current system is unable to do, has never been able to do. In the current system, believe it or not, users cannot even reset their password without the assistance of the BOE. So if they're entering in their reports and it's a Saturday or Sunday, they cannot, and they lock themselves out of their account, they cannot get assistance until Monday morning because of the setup of the current system. The new system will allow users to securely reset their password like almost every service nowadays. The new system will also have the ability to import candidate information from the central voter registration system, whereas the current system, it must be actually manually entered by the local boards of canvassers, which is, of course, time-consuming. It adds on to their responsibilities, and it's prone to human error, which have to then be followed up by the staff and corrected. In terms of the public transparency aspect, the current system is geared mostly towards desktop computer use. The new platform is designed to be viewed easily on a desktop, tablet, mobile devices. There are much better search functionalities for candidates, donors, and even expenditures, also highlighting key insights at a glance on a single page. There are key reasons why the staff feel this system needs to be upgraded now. First, the current period of 20 months after a presidential election, as you know, is the longest window in which such a project could be implemented seamlessly and without bumping into the next election cycle. The current proposal is aiming for a launch in 2026, assuming work can be done in July 2025 at the latest. This is especially important considering the amount of training the staff will need to conduct to ensure that office holders all become familiar with the new system. In an election year, ERTS is typically used by approximately 1,000 candidates, 242 PACs, and 80 political action committees. A significant amount of outreach will need to be conducted to ensure that all users are comfortable with the new system. If this window of opportunity is missed, then it's likely that an upgrade could not be accomplished until 2029, after the next presidential election. Secondly, the age of the new system is an increasing concern. Besides the benefits of the new platform conforming to modern security and user interface standards, there is the possibility that the vendor could choose to stop supporting the current ERTS legacy system, which is currently being supported on a year-to-year contract basis. If this were to happen, the board would have to scramble to quickly find the replacement or even revert to paper filing of reports, which would be in violation of state law, at least for general officers, and it would not be conducive to efficiency and transparency, even for all the other office holders. Now, finally, lastly, as you know, this agency has seen a number of retirements over the last 2 years. And currently, we have the benefit of having on our staff individuals with decades of knowledge in the current system and its requirements, as well as the state's campaign finance laws and regulations. If the system is not implemented prior to the next primary in September 2026 and is delayed until 2029, then it's likely the agency will not have the benefit of the expertise of some of the staff to assist with the rollout at that time. Finally, as you know, in October of last year, the board requested $250,000 in our fiscal year 2026 budget for the implementation of a new campaigns finance system. The request was removed by the governor's office and subsequently not included in our fiscal year 2026 approved budget, which starts this July 1st. While this proposal does represent only a 56% of the cost of that original $250,000 request, which is a substantial reduction in the cost. Any costs associated with this upgrade would need to be paid within the constraints of our upcoming budget appropriation beginning July 1st, which we believe is feasible. However, if the board does agree with this proposal, my next steps would be to meet with the budget office to determine the feasibility of incorporating these additional upgrade costs into our fiscal year 26 budget. Otherwise, if not feasible, it is likely that the board would need to enter into another year-long contract agreement with Civics for continued support of the legacy ERTS system for at least another year and more than likely through 2029. And I have broken down the costs here of the upgrade year to year for the next 5 years compared to the ERTS legacy costs, assuming each year-to-year contract for the legacy system incorporates a 5% annual increase, which it typically has. And as you can see, other than the fiscal year 2027, for the benefits that the state and the board would be getting for a more robust system, it's very cost-effective, in our opinion. As far as just so you can see what it looks like in comparison, on the next slide, oh, we don't have a next slide? I didn't take? Oh, all right, so back one. Sorry. So that is our current reporting page, files reporting page. That's where the public could go and look up public filings currently on our current ERTS page. It's actually, our website looked like this with the swirly blue about 15 years ago, maybe longer, 17 years ago. And that's why it incorporates a completely different color scheme from our current website, which the new system would incorporate our current design and our current page, so it would integrate more nicely. So this is what it looks like now. We did find the public reporting page from Georgia. And as you can see, there is much more at a glance information. Ours would obviously be more filled in here because we have active committees, and where the public can drill down into finding reports quickly and efficiently. And a similar interface is used for candidates and office holders who are actually entering in their information, can enter it in more accurately and efficiently as well, which we think will increase the 85% electronic filing rate even higher if the system is more user-friendly and easy to use. So with that being said, I respectfully ask for the board to allow me to pursue this with the budget office. At that time, if there are any issues that come up here today that the board would like me to look into, I know I had some questions previously. I tried to answer those prior to the meeting as best as I could. If there are anything that I need to follow up on with the vendor Civics, I certainly will do that before our next board meeting, where I hope, if allowable, to present you with a contract for the term for the new upgraded system. And I do have Rick Thornton here as well, if you have any questions about specifics of the system or some of the benefits of upgrading at this time.
Questions from the board?
And you might have answered this, and I'm sorry I didn't get to read the questions. I like that you're able to see it better on your phone, because it's true, if I ever want to look at it, it's the most painful thing ever. So are candidates or people who are filing able to also do that on their phone at all? Do we know?
Yes, they
Oh.
currently can as well.
Oh,
They can
okay.
log into their account. It's
On
just,
their phone.
again, the size of a phone, it's,
But even for them, it'll be even more friendly.
that's
Okay,
correct, yes.
cool. Thank you.
Commissioner? Okay. Commissioner Connors, the first to you.
Thank you. Just very briefly for Rick, have you had the opportunity to navigate through this new system at all?
Yes, I've taken a look at it. And again, I've worked with the current system for my entire tenure here, 23 years. So it's a change, but I think it's definitely a change for the better. I consider it to be user-friendly. And again, this is for someone who's basically locked into the current system. And, you know, as you age, maybe you lose some of your flexibility, but I could acknowledge that it definitely is user-friendly. And that will certainly help in the training of candidates too. The more user-friendly it is, the easier the training will be.
Commissioner Jekyll?
Just a couple quick questions. But one, first of all, this contract is very well written, a lot of detail. So so whatever work you guys did and whatever civics, so I appreciate that. And thank you they had detailed answers to my questions, which is great. So I appreciate that as well. The only thing just some final questions, and I know we'll probably cover some of this at the next meeting, but do you anticipate that the state IT department will lend some staff for it? Because there's a lot of roles on our part. Do you anticipate that we'd have participation from state IT?
It was posed to us that, again, the civics understands and knows our current staffing resources, and they felt that the current staff could handle the rollout and the testing adequately. Certainly, if there were any questions that we felt were beyond our capacity, then I know DeWitt would gladly jump in and help us.
Okay, good. And I noticed in here that we're getting the live data, just specifically says from the last election. So is that from 2024?
Last election cycle, so it will go back from January 1, 2023. We will carry that. And part of the reason is obviously it's useful information. Any campaign prior to that period of time has been reconciled, so there's the assumption that their reporting would be accurate as of that date. And also from the matching public funds perspective, which is also will be included in this module. The candidates for general office, their election cycle is actually 4 years and not 2 years. So anyone in the 2026 election, if they're applying for matching public funds, their election cycle begins January 1, 2023. So we need to have that information as live data. And that was part of the consideration there.
Great. Just my one last comment, we might want to discuss this next time, but the payment schedule is not entirely clear, which is section 41. One could assume that you're going to make a payment, that monthly payment for 12 months of that year, or maybe not. I don't know. It's not entirely clear. So you just might want to clarify that with them. And the other thing I may have missed it, but didn't see like payment terms. Is it 30 days, 45 days? Normally you see something like that to give us an opportunity to say, I always ask for 45 because it's always better to have a few extra days, but just to clarify.
Yeah, we can clarify. I believe they set it up for a fiscal year. They know our fiscal year. So July 1st through June 30th would be the 26 breakout. And then with the current agreement, we do pay within the 30 days typically. So that's a 30-day window that we have to pay that. But I will verify that that's in the current term as well.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
I just have a question, Rick, with regard to the system. Is there going to be a function to search the actual candidate reports?
Yes. In the new system, yes.
So whereas now you look at the reports and you basically have to scroll through them, there's not a real search function.
No, actually, each report, when you log in, you can search that candidate's they're within their organization and view the reports. But also, once you're within there are search capabilities for contributions and expenditures within that organization as well.
I guess my question is, will those continue in this?
Exactly. Absolutely.
Are they enhanced in any way, or is it basically the same information?
If it functions exactly the same, it would work.
Okay.
So.
That's all I have. So, Ray, my only other question is that the agenda says that we're going to vote to enter into a contract, but we're really not doing that today.
Right. I have since spoken to Miguel. The plan is to have this done in phases, which I think is better, as Miguel proposed, to have it in phases. So we'll do it that way. No vote is needed at this time. I think whenever you do take a vote, the agreement will be conditioned upon review by DOA, purchasing, because they have a critical role in entering these type of agreements. But that'll be Rick and Miguel who'll be, as they have been, handling all of that.
So I guess my question is, do they need a vote to go forward today?
There's nothing, in my judgment, no, there's nothing that you need. You've had a discussion, and then, Miguel, you expect to have something back?
Yes.
That's when you'll need a vote.
Well, I, for one, think it's a great idea, so.
Thank you.
And is there anything else?
No, I believe we're all set.
If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, the ayes have it. And I assume no one's opposed. Any opposed? No opposed. We're in adjournment.
We got you out on time.